What's up, everybody? Welcome back to LettermenRow.com. I am Jeremy Birmingham. This is Bermanology. We are talking today with one of the class leaders of Ohio State's 2022 recruiting class, a class that right now is the best in the country and with a big goal of finishing that way, something Ohio State has not done in the modern internet recruiting era. That is CJ Hicks from Archbishop Alter High School down there near Dayton. CJ, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I was just thinking that as I was preparing for this, I went back and I looked at our first interview, the first time you were on Bermanology back in April of a year ago. And it seems like forever ago, but and I was kind of taken back by what I see out of you now as a person, just the way that you handle yourself compared to that guy who was really, really kind of shy and reserved last April. What changed for you in this last year after you committed to Ohio State last May? Like, what really flipped the switch for you? Well, you seem like a totally different person.
Well, talking to Coach Washington and Coach Day, really, because my goal coming into the season was to be a team leader, even though juniors aren't really allowed to be a team leader or a captain or whatever. But just lead by example and be more vocal. That was my goal last year, and this same goal this year.
Was that a big adjustment for you? I mean, was it hard for you to get that to that point, or was it something you were just sort of waiting your turn to do?
Waiting my turn to do it really wasn't that hard for me.
You know, a big part of that, as you said, I mean, it's getting back on the field and being a leader on your team at Archbishop Alter. You guys finished 8-3, in a season that you didn't know if you were going to have. Overall, how did you see your game improve from where you were last year as a sophomore to this past one as a junior? And what do you think got you there?
I think I improved a lot because now I'm 220. I played last year at like 215. My sophomore year, I was 200, and the coaches just put me everywhere. They saw me at corner, safety, linebacker, came off the edge a little bit. This year, I just stuck to linebacker and coming off the edge, and you just saw me grow from there. I've been working with BB, just working off the pass rush and stuff like that. So,
you know, when I first saw you as a recruit was the summer of 2019. That was just after your freshman season, and all the conversation was really about you as a defensive back, probably a safety, and then here you are now at 6'4", 220 pounds, and you're definitely going to be a linebacker at the next level. Are you getting comfortable in that role? I mean, do you feel like you're where you need to be as far as your development goes?
Yeah, just working on everything as a linebacker because my sophomore year, I consider myself as a strong safety, free safety, like you said, a DB. Now I'm just a linebacker. That's what Coach Washington's telling me. Coach Day is telling me. That's what Coach Holmes is telling me.
But you won't be returning kicks at linebacker once you get to college. I mean, you might still do that as a senior at Alter, but have you been able to really? I guess the whole thing is this last year, CJ. Obviously, everything's been up in the air for everyone. Was it easy to stay motivated to keep working? I mean, obviously, you go out, you commit to Ohio State, the world kind of shuts down much more than we actually anticipated, I think. How difficult was that last season for you, not knowing what was happening every week?
It really wasn't that difficult. It was just like seeing the seniors, knowing like their last game could have been last year and they didn't really get to ride off into the sunset or whatever, because this year we made it to the state semifinals. But like just controlling our own destiny, that's what we preach to the team, being as one, being a brotherhood, and just playing together.
When we talk brotherhood, nothing really exemplifies that more than the Ohio State culture, and that you obviously are a big believer in, is turned into Captain Buckeye that you've become in the recruiting class. As you watch the 21 class get built and get finalized, there still was a couple pieces maybe still out there. Is it motivation for you to make sure that you guys in the 22 class continue to keep pushing to be better than that?
Yeah, like you were saying in the beginning of the show, Alabama is now, the 2021 class is now the best recruiting class of all time, and our goal is, or it still was, to be the number one class of all time, beating the 2021s because we thought that they were going to be number one, but they ended up falling short to number two. which is still a good class. But 2022, we're going to be the number one best class in the nation.
Let's break down that class. You have the country's top-ranked player and top-ranked quarterback in Quinn Ewers. You have a 5-star wide receiver committed. You have a pair of tight ends. You have, Ohio's best or highest-ranked offensive lineman. You got 3 linebackers, and yourself and Gabe Powers and Deshaun McCullough. You have Jair Brown and Jaheim Singletary in the secondary. What's next? Where do you guys see like you have to go in that class? Who's the next group that you really have to focus on? Don't name players if you don't want to. If you want to call them out, call them out. I'm sure the guys like to hear it. But who is really the focus for you?
Well, for us right now, we're trying to get Xavier out of Iowa. We talk to him a lot. He's like our brother. He fits in really well. But
you and Xavier and Deshaun, I don't mean to cut you off, but you guys have actually Deshaun and Xavier were playing in a 7-on-7 event last weekend together. You were in Dallas playing with Deshaun a few weeks ago, or on the same team. I guess he wasn't there that weekend, but how did that all come together? How did this 7-on-7 stuff with you going to Dallas come together, and how beneficial is that for you as a class leader in the recruiting world?
It was fun, to be honest, because I didn't get to see Deshaun, but I saw other recruits talking to them. I seen what's his name, Damani, before he committed.
Armani Winfield.
Before he committed and why he was committing there. I seen other recruits from California, Georgia, Florida, but just building a relationship. Deshaun really, when he went with Xavier, he was just in his ear, just talking to him, telling him, just come be a part of the BIA and come help build the best class in the nation.
Is there a plan to do more of that for you in these next coming weeks? What is your schedule looking like as you get ready to, really engage the 7-on-7 circuit?
I think in February 23rd or somewhere near that weekend, I'm going to be in Arizona. Deshaun's going, Xavier might be going, and I'm going to get Caden Saunders because even though he's committed to Penn State, that's still our bro. And just to all chill down there. We might not be on the same team, but we're all going to be down there together.
That's the battle 7-on-7 in Phoenix. That's the same weekend that there's a big pylon event in Las Vegas. So it's kind of like there's a big competing world out there in that respect, I guess. Do you think that you are able to be more effective as a recruiter when you're in person with these guys, or have you sort of mastered the art of doing it, electronically?
Both, to be honest, because we start off online because like recruits that's out of state, even though even if COVID wasn't a thing, you couldn't just see them whenever you wanted. You have to build that relationship online, but just seeing them in person, that helps too. It's not really a big deal.
Obviously, Arizona has one of the country's top receivers, and Keon Gray, someone that you guys are interested in as well as a class. Have you felt like you guys are getting closer through all this? I mean, as the seasons come along and everyone kind of gets caught up with school and football, I mean, how difficult was it to maintain the relationships through that time, or did the relationships get stronger?
It really wasn't a problem because everybody just still communicated with each other. We have a group chat. Like I keep saying, we just talk and communicate and just act like brothers.
How frustrated are you that you still can't go and visit Ohio State and see coaches and walk around the Woody Hayes Athletic Center?
I'm very frustrated. I'm not like how Deshaun is because Deshaun hasn't seen the facility at all. I've seen it a couple of times because I went to the camps and I went to the games and stuff like that. But yeah.
Now there is a window. It looks like April 16th. It looks to be the date that everyone is sort of targeting as when visits can happen on campus again. Is there conversation with you and the 22 commits about getting everyone together like you were hoping to do in January?
Yeah, we're probably going to do something like that soon.
I would imagine that the Buckeyes will probably try to schedule their spring game that April 17th or 24th to make sure that it's open for that. But that's certainly going to turn out to be one of those big things. For you, CJ, where are you going here as far as how do you get better going into your senior year? What's the next step for you in your evolution?
Just finishing what we started last year like I said, we made it to state semifinals. Freshman year, we made it to the state championship, but we lost. I've never won a state championship ring. This class, the senior class, hasn't won a state championship ring either. So we just want to finish what we started and get a ring and stay together and as a brotherhood and not just break off the little pieces and get frustrated. And it's all about me. It's us as a team.
How's the relationship with? I know you obviously talk to Coach Washington all the time, but with Kerry Combs as the defensive coordinator, what does Kerry say to you? What does he see as he watches your tape? I mean, how does he see you fitting into the defense? What linebacker role are they talking to you mostly about?
They kind of see me play like Peter Warner and Baron Browning because I come off the edge like Baron, but also can drop back like Pete. So
that same spot potentially.
Yeah, just gotta wait and see when I'm up there.
Obviously, as a recruit, you guys talk to the coaches pretty regularly. How much direction are they giving you as far as, we want to talk to this recruit, we'd like you to get involved with this guy? And obviously, as you're talking about trying to recruit the best class in history, how much input do you give them back? Like, hey, that guy's not worth it. He's not feeling us. I mean, is there that kind of back and forth, or is it more like, see ball, hit ball?
The coaches really don't talk to us about like recruits that they want. We, like, as a group, that's everybody that's committed. We go for guys that we want. Like, we went for Quinn. Me and Deshaun went for Quinn. We went for Jaheim. We went for big name recruits, not even just big name recruits. Like, we're going for a receiver out of Arizona. We're going for Xavier. Just like guys that will fit in, and just like I said, keep saying, just fit into the brotherhood.
How did that happen with Quinn? I mean, from your guys' perspective, he's been on the show. We've talked. I mean, I know he obviously has always liked Ohio State and had the good relationship with Corey Dennis, but you guys had to make a decision when he was committed to Texas, and you'd had to figure he was pretty solidly committed to Texas. It was his dream school growing up. But like, was it you guys just talking and spitball and say, hey, let's go get that guy? And I mean, how did it even begin? Who initiated that?
Really, it was all Deshaun who started it, because we all talked to him because like we're all in the group chat, top players in the nation and stuff like that. So we all just talk. And then one day Deshaun just texted me. He was like, keep talking to Quinn. Let's get to Quinn. I was like, but he's committed to Texas, where he's from. It was like, just keep texting him. So I just started texting him. Me and Deshaun kind of like doubled and teamed him, and we got him to flip.
Has he? I mean, you guys are kind of probably different. Quinn, he likes to go hunting and all that stuff. Have you guys started to figure out what brings you guys together, and what's the common interest for you all?
So we're all goofy. Like, some of us are quiet, like how Quinn is and how Gabe is, but some of us are outgoing, like how me and Deshaun and Jair are. But
yeah, Jair is interesting. That boy likes to talk.
Yeah, that's my homie though. That's the bro.
You guys, I mean, have you guys talked about, how you really get other guys around the country to come visit, and knowing that this COVID stuff is still happening? Like, is it a plan to try to, for someone like you and Gabe and Jair, guys that are in Ohio, is it like, hey, whenever you're in town, I'll be there? Or is it, I'm going to go this weekend, we should all be there? I mean, what's the goal, I guess? I mean, do you think that it's better to have a huge weekend with everyone together, or just you and one dude?
Just I feel like it's better to have the whole commits there, because excuse me, when we all get up there as freshmen, it's who you're gonna be around. It's not just gonna be like one person.
Yeah.
It's like we keep talking about in the group chat, when we all get up there, or we're all gonna come up here and visit, we're all gonna stay together. We're all gonna do it all together, not just like one person with another person. Everybody's gotta come together.
One last thing, I'll let you get out of here. Have you heard from the folks at the opening and that kind of stuff, if they intend to get back to somewhat normal for that this summer? And if it is, how important is it for you to make sure that you're representing at that event?
They talked to me early in my when the season first started. I really didn't talk to them because I was worried about the season. But they said they might start some camps here soon. I just gotta wait and figure that out.
I mean, those camps are obviously not really relevant for a guy who's a top 40 prospect and committed, but as a recruiter, it's an opportunity to really get out there and chat with people. So a lot of things coming your way, CJ. Thanks for taking time today, bud. I appreciate you always being willing to hop on and talk about things. good luck in the rest of the offseason. I'm probably going to see you out in Arizona. That's sort of my goal right now. So I will look forward to seeing you in warmer weather.
Yeah, sure.
That's CJ Hicks. I'm Jeremy Birmingham. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good one.